Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The brutal murder of 3 young girls last week not only shocked the nation, but has led to a series of violent uprisings. The unrest began on Tuesday the 30th of July in Southport, where the tragedies had taken place. Barely 36 hours after the murders of Alice de Silva Aguiar, B.B. King and Elsie Stancombe, hundreds of rioters descended on the town, fueled by false claims that the attacker was a Muslim asylum seeker. But the violence did not end in Southport. On Wednesday, the 31st of July, more than 100 demonstrators clashed with police in London during a protest entitled "Enough is Enough." In Hartlepool, Manchester and Aldershot, similar scenes of unrest occurred throughout the day. On August the 1st, cities like Birmingham and Leeds became focal points of further demonstrations, and in Sunderland, on August the 2nd, a large group of far-right protesters clashed violently with police outside a mosque. The unrest continued on the 3rd of August with clashes in Liverpool. Far-right protesters shouting Islamophobic and anti-immigration slogans confronted anti-fascist demonstrators across the city. These demonstrators, numbering in the few hundred, gathered near Liverpool's Lime Street station before marching to confront the anti-immigration protesters at the pier head. Assistant Chief Constable Jenny Sims strongly condemned the unrest, stating that disorder, violence and destruction have no place in Merseyside, least of all after the tragic events that took place in Southport on Monday. And in a horrific escalation of the violence, a group of far-right thugs attacked an Islamic dawah table in Liverpool on Saturday afternoon. The attackers, wielding clubs, destroyed the table and assaulted 2 members of the Muslim team. The brutal assault is not just an attack on the individuals, but an attack on the principles of free speech, religious expression, and the right to engage peacefully with the public. Researchers have pointed to Elon Musk's decision to reinstate figures like Tommy Robinson on X, formerly known as Twitter, as a significant factor in the rise of far-right violence. Since his reinstatement, Mr. Robinson and others have used the platform to spread misinformation and stoke anger, often targeting Muslims, asylum seekers, and other vulnerable communities. The decentralized nature of these new far-right movements makes it much harder for police to track them, as their events are often organised anonymously through channels such as Telegram. As Professor Stephen Lewandowski of Bristol points out, platforms like Facebook have become outrage machines, where extremist content thrives, fueling division and anger. Finally, the attack on the Nasser Mosque in Hartlepool was a stark illustration of the chilling effects of far-right extremism on Muslim communities across England. The mosque in Hartlepool is not just a place of worship, it is a pillar of the community, known for its charitable work, including the provision of more than 25,000 free meals to those in need since the pandemic began. The attack has been felt not just by the Muslim community, but by all those who have benefited from the mosque's outreach efforts. These attacks on these mosques have been a grim reminder of the venom of far-right extremism and how it is not limited to online rhetoric, but has tangible, real consequences for real people. Our thoughts are with the victims of these senseless acts of violence and their families.